Hey guys, Tim here from BSMastering Mastering. Hope you're having a very great day. Question: how do you make your master translate best through all listening systems? So in this video I will give you the answer and the solution to this question. And before we start, please remember, if you have a mix that you need mastered, request a quote at bsmastering.com and receive 50% of your first order. And now, let's get started. People listen to our tracks on the best and worst systems and platforms possible, such as monophones, crappy headphones, or great car systems, or possibly on various musical fests. And you need to keep that in mind all the time. If we talk about the loudness, it's easier for our tracks to sound better on great and loud systems like in a club or in a car. That might seem funny, but sometimes the louder you listen to your track, the worse it gets. That's because every aspect of our song, whether it's bad one with harsh highs or a good one with great punchy low end, when listening louder, it will only be intensified. Meaning, if your track is great, it will only sound better when louder. And if your track has a lot of problems, the loudness will make it only worse. That's mostly dependent on your mix, of course, but as mastering is the last process of making a song, that's where we take time to check exactly those issues. And we always need to check it on all possible systems and make sure it sounds good when listening to loud or quiet. And when you listen to the music quietly, you feel the mix more. And when louder, the bass and highs pop up more. Therefore, again, be sure that when you are taking mastering decisions, especially compression, multi-band compression, or EQ, every once in a while, you turn the volume down to make sure you don't lose the bass and highs too much, and then turn the volume up to keep the control of them, just to be sure that your track will not blow somebody's ears up from the amount of high end when they listen to very loud. So I told you about the phone speakers, crappy headphones and car system in terms of the loudness. But there's a second side of the coin, which is the frequency response of all of these platforms. Frequency response of our track, or tonal balance, in other words, is as important, if not more important, aspect to take to consideration as how loud people will listen to your track. So in order for our track to sound great on every possible system, we need to have our frequency response balanced. We need to keep the tonal balance. Fortunately, there are clear guidelines about it, defined by the constantly developing music industry, and we can take advantage of it. The best guideline for the tonal balance that I personally use is the tonal balance control from iZotope. Here it is on the screen. This is by far the best and easiest way to check if your track meets industry standards, so to say. And what's even more important, if your track stays balanced across multiple sound systems. It's a perfect antidote for ear fatigue and ensures that your final product translates well across a myriad of playback systems. It puts experience of countless mastering engineers in your hands, enabling you to compare your audio to hundreds of professional masters in 13 different genres. So let's check it out. So this is our tonal balance control. And there are two modes, broad and fine. So, and usually I like to leave it in fine. Here we have frequency response balance for average of 13 different genres. And this plugin is great for a quick check if we stay in these industry standard borders, so to say, meaning if our track is not out of borders, it will sound balanced throughout all systems. So I have an EDM track and I'm choosing EDM. Let's have a listen how our track performs in this case. So, in overall, this is quite a balanced mix. What we can do is maybe to tame some highs between 6 and 10 K area. To do this, you can use your favorite mastering EQ and reduce it a little bit by, say, 1.5 dB. That's a very subtle difference, but of course you can decide whether you want it or not. So, this way we can compare our track to the average of radio music or electronic music. Of course, you don't have to be average. We don't want to be average, but average in terms of tonal balance, in my opinion, is not the worst idea to keep your tonal balance in the average of the music industry. And we can really easily control it with this iZotope tonal balance control. On a personal note, I would like to say that I really like this tool. I've been using it for a few years and I've been using it successfully. So it helps me to achieve balanced masters easily. One important thing to remember: it is not always 100% right, so to say. It depends on your mix. Some mixes can have minimalistic arrangements and they won't match exactly. Therefore, don't take what it says blindly. Use your ears. But again, it is a very, very great tool, especially for the very low-end, high-mids, and high-end. So that's about it for today. If you like my videos, please subscribe and hit the notification bell to support my channel. Have a very great day and see you next time.